So, I'm my grandma's favorite. I've always been my grandma's favorite since I was a little kid. Like, there's 5 of us. I have an older brother and then 3 younger cousins that are significantly younger, and she basically will tell them all that I'm her favorite. She goes on about like my artwork and all the places that I've traveled to and books that I've read and stuff. She's really proud. But one time when I was like 5 years old, she told me that I have her big nose. And whenever I think about my grandma, that's the first thing I think about. And so my quote is from Mark Twain. It says, I can live for 3 months on a good compliment. I wish that that were the case, but I feel like in most circumstances, the bigger thing that we remember are the negative things that people say about us. I think it takes like 3 compliments to make up for 1 slight that people say about us. My best friend, Alexa, she's probably the prettiest girl that I know. Like, every time people see her, they always are like, oh my gosh, she's the prettiest girl. But she is the most insecure, because if you say anything negative about her looks at all, like her hair, like there's a piece of hair out of place, and you're like, oh, you might want to cut it down. She's like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly. It's like really hard. So, in conclusion, I wish that the world were like this, but I feel like Mark Twain was being a little overly optimistic with that, and I think that criticism is much more memorable than compliments.
Thank you. Well, I think the attention device works really well at getting people ready to listen to what you're saying. We're all having fun and we're laughing with you and enjoying that. And you did a nice job transitioning to the topic and then having a different take on the topic, a different point of view. I think that you're doing a good job there. You need to structure your supporting points, and you don't really do that. You've got one good example that you're going to after that, and that's about as far as it goes. And I think that people need to do a little bit more planning and try and find some other ideas and concepts to illustrate the theme that you've got. But when you do have one good idea, it works pretty well. Now you sold a lot of your original idea early on in the introduction, so when you get to your example, it's not quite as effective as it could be, although I think it works pretty well. And most of us know somebody who's probably like your friend Alexis, a little insecure about some things, and as a consequence, it's easy to understand what you're talking about there. Your presentation issues, look, your voice projects, you got a lot of energy from the very beginning. You're putting personality into the voice in the presentation, so there's no problem there. Your facial expressions are also quite animated. You're smiling and friendly, even with your grandma's nose. You know, you're showing us what kind of person you are, and we like that. The gestures are a little bit limited because you got that quote in your fingers, and you're rolling it up really tightly and stretching it out and folding it a little bit while you're playing. So you are distracted by that, and probably want to get it out of your hands while you're speaking to us. I didn't see any obvious anxiety issues except maybe the little piece of paper that you're handling. I thought you had a good summary of the points that you had at the end, and you came back to the thesis that you had developed, and I think that that's important because that is really the reason why you're talking to us, is to tell us what you think, what your idea here is, and all of the other points were really designed to support that point, and if we don't remember what it is, the speech is going to be less meaningful, so you did a good job on that.